Igbo bụ Igbo ekene m unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị nke taa. Asịkwa m unu nke onye chiri ya zelu. And once again, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Depends your time and your location. You are joining us today at Eastern News 24. Asịkwa m ka Chukwu Oka Abịama bless us. And n'ime ihe niile BIAFRA ya narịrị ise. Alright, if I on here kịta bụ episode 2 of Water by Southeast Senators. Ịma nke ọdụ zọkara unu bụ before akwụnụ fukesu BIAFRA na nke a kịta bụ Victor Umeh ka ife a na-akụfa kịta adịrọ mma. Ife ya ọkpọ a na-ewufa kịta bụ n'omesi agwanda okwu ndị ada n'ife mana m na ndị ka dọrọ fa aka na ntị fefiro na egwu na fada ekwuzi okwu president as in president, Southeast president. Ife a na-azị kịta biko unu ga-echuta anyị senate president biko unu nyechuru na senate president fa ka a na-ayọzi kịta mana ịmasị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru ihe ori ụwa isirọfụ ndị anụ abụ ndị a na-ekpu okpuru edu na-ada ekwu eziokwu ga-erizini ka mmadụ fa na-emeri gee ntị ka ịnụ ihe ife Victor Umeh nwere ikwu. Gee ntị, ọ na-ebesi akwa anya mmiri na-adapụ ya n'anya. Ọ na-asị na ọma na ọ ga-adịrị fa otu a na maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwukwere ya ekwu ọma na ọ ga-adịrị fa otu a. Alright, ka m kwụsịgodo ya bụ ife ebe a, geenụ ntị na ya bụ ozi anyị ji wee bịa. Unu kesizi ya unu ka bakwana as in leave your own comment on the comment section below. Alright, over to you.
Well, I'm happy to be back. I was part of the 8th Senate, and obviously between that 8th Senate and now, you will agree that Nigerian people need very strong and virile representation at National Assembly. We expect to use lawmaking processes to tackle the challenges facing Nigeria in the 10th National Assembly. We'll look at those issues that have been retarding the progress in this country, and of course try to use law to strengthen our democratic process, so that the executive arm of government will be in a position to deliver to the needs of the Nigerian people. Any place we see any lapse in the actions of government, it will behove on us to intervene and get things properly on course. Nigerians deserve better living than we presently have, and working with the executive arm of government, we should be able to deliver improved living conditions for the Nigerian people. So you can see that it's a collective effort. The National Assembly will, through appropriation, make necessary provisions for those items that should be prioritized for the good of the Nigerian people. It's not enough to bring huge budgets to the National Assembly, and when those budgets are passed, you won't see the impact on the lives of the ordinary people on the streets. So we'll be able to look at those things and advise on prioritizing those things that will improve the living conditions of the Nigerian people.
All right, the ruling party recently microzoned the leadership to individuals, which a lot of lawmakers oppose to. What is your own take on that?
Well, that is not before the National Assembly. It's politics, and people want to play politics at all times. But the important thing is that the National Assembly is empowered by the Constitution to elect its presiding officers. So we expect that no matter what anybody wants to achieve, we should be looking at a way of making the National Assembly very responsive to its responsibilities. Elect a leadership that will help to put the institution on a very strong footing, because Parliament is a place where people are not, you don't delegate people as such. The parliamentarians are independent-minded at all times. That is not to say that the National Assembly will be quarreling with the executive arm of government. It's not so. The Constitution is very clear on the independence of the three arms of government: the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. So I think the best way to strengthen our democracy is to allow everybody to be on his lane. You do your own work, then expect others to do their own, and everything will go well. So if you come to the National Assembly now, there will be nothing like zoning on the day of the election of presiding officers. Nobody will say that, oh, because from this zone, you cannot contest. So it is all politics, and we see it as such.
Your region actually insists that the Southeast was to give the Senate president last week. So what are you doing to encourage other members elect?
Well, we're all working. Everybody is lobbying. This is a period of lobbying. You know, no matter what you want, you have to get others to agree with you. You know, even the zoning you've alluded to, lobbying is going on because it is not cast on stone or iron. Those things are done to maybe guide the action of certain people. But the truth is that anything you want in the parliament, you lobby for it. You get people to understand your viewpoint, and then what's very important for all of us is that we practice inclusiveness. In the 8th Assembly, I was a champion of equity and fairness, inclusiveness. We have to include all parts of Nigeria in the decision-making process of this country. No matter how weak a zone is, you must find accommodation for them because they're Nigerians and they should not be discriminated against because they are weak. It is even better that we prop up those that are weak to become strong because it will add to the unity of our country. So it's not something anybody can do on the basis of winner takes all. It's something that requires balancing of actions and acts and balancing of institutions and positions so that everybody will move together as one country.
Thank you.
And they performed very well. So at the end of the day, as I keep saying, it is not about your tribe, it is not about your religion, it's about your capacity and your character. That's what determines what you can and cannot do. So I'm impatient when people try to describe your abilities with your tribe. It's not, they don't connect.
All right, talking about women inclusivity, compared to the 9th Senate, this 10th Senate has a considerable low turnout of women. In the Senate, 3 new women are coming on board. What is your concern about the gender bills that were killed and may likely come up in this 10th Senate?
Well, I have, from my few interactions with the other senators, most of them men, they have seen that those bills are necessary because even they are embarrassed by the number of women in the Senate. So I think the bills, a lot of what did not pass before, are more likely to pass now.
Any special attention for women?
Of course.
Yes.
If you know me well, I am very, very gender conscious, and I intend to ensure, even in my programs, my zonal intervention programs, there's a lot of empowerment for women. I believe that women are the backbone of the family. They are the heart and soul of the society. And if they're not fine, society can never be fine. And you can see it from the way this country is. I know if there were more women in governance, if there were more women in policy making, this country will definitely improve in terms of development and progress.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You are a service senator. Okay. So how will you describe the opening session of this second batch?
It's going fine, and all things are placed for them to induct those that are coming in new and refresh those of us that are serving.
You are from Sanfara State, sir.
Right.
And one of the senators elect from your state
Okay.
is well reported in the media as being interested in the number one presiding position of the 10th Senate, despite the fact that 8 days ago your party, APC, announced that it has zoned it to so and so places. So are you on the same page with that senator?
Are you too sure of this, your statements, that the party has zoned it? Not left with me, I'm not too sure. Okay. Because I expect the party to call me or call those of us, sit with us, and tell us that this is the position of the party. I saw it like you do in the newspapers. I hear it like hearsay. So by the time the party did what I thought they should do, I believe we will know what to do, and we will at least have an honest discussion with the party.
Thank you very much.
Well, as far as preparation is concerned, this is my home. You recall I spent 16 years down the line. So I know the assembly, I know the institution very well, I know the challenges, and I know what is expected out of the National Assembly. I believe when you speak about National Assembly, the National Assembly of any nation is a reflection of that nation. So once the National Assembly is strong, it vibrates across the nation. So a weak National Assembly means a weak nation. A bad National Assembly, a bad nation. A corrupt National Assembly, a corrupt nation. If the nation is not doing well, the National Assembly is quietly to blame. So I'm prepared. I know the job. We've gone a long way. We've been into so many trenches in making sure that the independence, particularly the National Assembly, is strictly adhered to. And that is what we are going there to insist.
What's your take concerning the zoning of the 10th leadership?
I have no particular interest of the zoning. As far as I'm concerned, I'm an opposition member in the parliament. The APC can do whatever it wants. The APC can produce its own Senate president, but ultimately it is the Senate or the House of Representatives that will produce their speaker and their Senate president. And we are not ruling out anybody, including those who are actually choosing. They are all eligible, they are friends, we know them. At the end of the day, we are going to weigh them. We are going to make sure that the best out of them is actually chosen to represent the National Assembly. I appreciate it.
Bomanegenti dalo nene kunusi gaya bife Victor Menekwu ifuna anya mine jupitego fana anya magafana ebesi akwa wozi fabuloza osu abuloza anu enu abuloza anu ana una fugo ko osu wede ewatago mana ọka mma na osi otu a na-eme ka a na-ama ife ka amakwa na ada egwu ka onye ọbụla atrisi nke ikpeazụ akata onye ọbụla ga na-ekwerezi n'ife Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru na ọbụla egwuregwu ịghọta because ọ niche na egwu mana ada egwu ịghọta na-ekwu. So I'm very happy for this water a na-apịagodi fa kịta ịghọtago because ife Nnamdi Kanu kwuru si nseri ụwa mana fa egere ntị fa anụlọ ngwa ndị adụ nkụ nsi esonyere anyị ọhago ka ọ dị m n'ọnụ ka efu nwere ike ikwu n'ife ahụ nụrụ kịta. Leave us with your own comment on the comment section below. All right, thank you and stay tuned at Eastern News 24 ka emesịa nụ ndị be anyị.